I remember when I first got into this whole business of life insurance so many years ago. And one of the things that I struggled with was understanding some key principles that I wish I would have known then. I wanted to sell life insurance to any and everyone that would buy it from me. That sounds like a plan, right? But you've probably already been going through that plan already, and you see that it's not working. You see that you're trying to reach out to everyone. You're making Facebook posts, you're on Instagram, you're on Twitter, you're on LinkedIn, you're all over the place trying to shout to the masses, trying to get just anyone to listen. But you're probably finding that not many people are listening. You don't have any consistent story to tell. And the thing about this business is you better have a consistent story to tell. Now, I say better to have a consistent story to tell because either you want to make this hard or you want to make this simple. I call it simple, not easy, because it's a simple process to set up, but obviously anything that you do is going to take work. But you don't want to put yourself behind the 8 ball so that you're not actually generating all of the business that you can actually generate. So many times we're just kind of throwing things up against the wall to see what will stick with no real plan of action to take, nothing that we can actually focus in on that we can become an expert at. So what I want to talk to you about today are the 3 steps to easily building your life insurance business. And it comes down to these 3 simple principles. It may not be easy. Some of them may be easier than others, but we want to get into this right now. So the first thing we want to talk about is the who. That talks about what is your niche. Who is the niche that you serve? Now, so many times people get this wrong because what we're not talking about is a demographic, and we'll get into that in a moment. But your niche is about who you are actually serving. Micro niche may be even a better word to use. You want to serve teachers. You want to serve mailmen. You want to serve truckers. These are actual niches. These are actual people that you can talk to and go after. And if you speak their language, they're going to listen to you. And we're going to get into that in the second piece of this, which is going to be your why, right? So now, if you pick a niche, not a demographic, a niche is a specific industry, is a specific subset of that industry. Like you could subset teachers, right? You only want to service math teachers. You only want to service science teachers. But teachers is a small enough niche. Now, I'm not telling you this is the niche you should pick. I'm giving you examples of something you can do. So you want to pick something that you can speak directly to. Now, I told you I was going to tell you this has nothing to do with a demographic. A demographic is like, okay, I want to serve 30 to 35 year olds. I want to serve African Americans. I want to serve people that make over $100,000 per year. This is way too broad and it's not focused enough. Even if you look at the niches that we talked about before, whether it's a teacher, whether it's a postman, whether it's a trucker, you'll notice that in a very specific niche, all of those demographics fit. If you're a trucker, if you want to go after truckers, you're going to hit the 30 to 65 year olds. You're going to hit the African Americans. You're going to hit the people that make over $100,000 a year. So this is the difference between you selecting a niche and you selecting an actual or selecting a demographic. The first thing that you want to do is pick out that niche, and then we focus in on the demographic. Now, let's get into the why. Now, the why comes down to why is it that you're doing this? Why are you selecting this specific niche? The reason that you're selecting this specific niche is because you have experience in that niche. You're not selecting a niche based on money or who you think you can sell the most insurance to. You're going to flop at that too. When you select a niche that you have personal experience with, you already speak their language. They know your why. They know why you're concerned. You have a story to tell behind all of that. If you don't have, or if you can't figure out, and you might need to take some time to figure this out, who this niche is, but that's okay. Because you can either select a niche that you have personal experience with, that you can talk to in their own language, or you select a niche that someone that you know personally knows that language. Someone in your close vicinity, a family member, a best friend, something like that, someone that you can have conversations with so that you can start learning that language and also tell those stories. It won't be your stories, but you can say, hey, a friend of mine, ... So this comes down and is vitally important. The last part about this is the how. How are you going to get this message out? How are you going to find this niche? Where does this niche hang out? Is it on Facebook? Can you find them through running Facebook ads? Do you need to be on Instagram? Do you need to spend your time on Twitter? Do you need to spend your time on LinkedIn? Wherever that niche is spending their time, the predominant amount of their time, this is where you need to focus your efforts in order to start talking to that specific niche. It's vitally important not only that you have the niche, not only that you have the story, but you know where to be telling these stories, that you know where to be going to find these people, to be able to show them your expertise, not only in that niche, but obviously how you can get them covered. You want to know how you're going to speak to this niche. You want to know their language. What is the language that they speak? I'm not talking about French or Japanese or whatever. I'm talking about their common syntax that they have because of that niche. The common things that are known within that niche that maybe aren't so common outside of that niche. These are the things that I'm talking about. So look, when you're talking about how to highly target and highly focus in on a niche and make money. Let's just be real. This is why we're here. Making money. How are we going to do this? Because if you're just got a shotgun and you're just blasting it everywhere, no one's hearing that. No one. But when you have a laser beam and laser focused in on who it is that you're talking to, because there's a specific reason for you to do that, this is where your money is. You may or may not have heard the term, your riches are in the niches. That is so true, because you have a constant way of speaking to them in a manner in which makes sense to them. If you want to build your life insurance business, focus on a niche and service that niche in a way that no one else can, because no one understands that niche better than you. I'll see you next time.